complications for the patients when they have chest tubes.
I don't have it here.
So pulmonary edema. What else? Pleural effusion. Anything that
We have a collection of fluid in the
fluids
chest.
in the pleural space, and so therefore we want you to document what you've done with the patient. Don't forget to document the type of drainage, the amount, and the patient's response. Okay, so we have so we're seeing a lot of patients being discharged home with this, and the other one is the Plurix. It's like the big one. I really haven't had any experience with that, but this one is also easy. We tend to be scared, but again, the face of home health is changing, and we're getting more active patients at home. So it's a sterile. We try to be a sterile technique as much as we could during the home. So you have to always wipe the table with alcohol or your hand gel. Wipe it and then line with a paper towel or this when you open.
Because the steps are on here too. This is actually online on Aspira's site, and it's actually created for patients at home. So as a step-by-step process, if they were to do it themselves, so it's very layman. It's for in layman language, and you can use it as a guide for yourself too.
Okay, so either it's on right or left chest, and there is a catheter that comes out, and so line also the floor with a paper towel, and then wash your hands, and then open the package. Well, open first the dressing kit, so you have the barrier, the cloth barrier. Oh, we just did that.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay. Y'all, of course, you have to document breath sounds before and after, because you wanna see if it's what you did is effective or not. So you have to take out the dressing from the patient, because everything is inside the dressing. So there's no tube hanging out that you can see. So you have to take that out first. Bring 2 sterile gloves, because the package only comes with 1. So let's pretend that it's already taken out. So you don your sterile gloves, and then you open your packet like that. And always have the trash close to you, trash bag. So let's pretend. I'm sorry, you're taping me. I broke everything already. We just want to connect, okay? And then, of course, O2 sats. And let's say this one is you already placed it over there. I had a hard time doing it. I was with Neil, and not Neil, Aaron, and I'm glad he was with me, because otherwise
It's easier with 2 people.
Yeah.
Are we sending 2 everywhere then?
Okay. For the no.
Do you feel like you need to?
While you're keeping little baby girl off of your feet, the dog.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So this drain, only thing is inside this one, right, Aaron? Because we couldn't find it, we had to open a new one.
Set the cap.
Yeah, the cap. So this
The
is
cap and the clamp and some alcohol swabs.
and then there's also the clamp here. Okay. So there's a little valve here. It's only one way, so the tube cannot flow back. Okay. And I recommend that you already hook the patient, she's draining already. So this would just snap right into the patient's chest tube. It snaps like that. There's a clamp, and it snaps.
And then do you
But
squeeze
you always
it?
have to alcoholize alcoholize it.
Good.
Make sure everything is clamped. Okay, so you get this from the package. So again, came from here, so it's sterile. I just can't, you know. The patient pretty much has this over here. So you take out the dirty one and discard it. You have a new one in the bag. And then the patient's also clamped. So when you take this new bag, just put this and clamp it as well. Okay. Hook. After you have to swab. How many seconds do you have to swab the patient with alcohol?
60,
15.
15.
15 times, okay? And apply pressure when you're swabbing. So that goes with the PICC lines as well. And any IV site. So 15 times. Yeah, I just learned that too. So we always need to be updated with what's going on out there. So once the patient's hooked, unclamp both, and then press one. And then it will suction it.
And
So
the
of
bag
course
on
this
the
one
floor.
has to be like on the floor. So while the patient is like draining, of course you also need to know what was the previous output before you, in case you weren't the one who drained the patient before. So while this one is draining, then just secure properly so it doesn't get pulled or whatever, right? We need to change the dressing. And then the dressing, sterile technique, aseptic technique. This goes, let's say that's the tube right there. Swab with
Alcohol.
just alcohol. Sometimes the doctor would specify what they want. Some doctors I've seen ordered betadine and then pat dry. I always want to wipe the betadine, right? But some doctors don't. You just need to know their protocol. Wipe, pat dry, and then apply the drainage sponge. And then 4x4 or Optifoam. Optifoam. So I've seen those ordered, Optifoam, and always get an occlusive dressing.
And these
to
kits
cover.
should be ordered for the patient. We'll just use these kits usually.
Yes.
It should all be in there. Yeah.
Right. So why do we need like an occlusive one? Because you don't want the air to sip out of this tube or like
Or
around
around it, right.
Yeah. And yeah, this is kind of struggle with the big upside. So, and make sure before you apply the upside that this drainage sponge is not like this. What's gonna happen, you put your transparent dressing, when you take it out, this one is gonna be like additional 20 minutes. So make sure it's like covered like that.
And do
So that it comes out
you
easy.
coil the catheter under it so it's not hanging?
It's how long?
There's different ways.
Hers
Not
was
really long.
long.
Out, yeah.
Yeah. hers
Because
protruded
sometimes
out the
you
side.
don't have an order to change the dressing every time you drain. Sometimes it's just a weekly dressing change. So it just depends.
Right. Is it tunneled, right? You
It
said
is
it's
tunneled. There's
so
cuff.
but it's still, you want to document the length of the tube from the insertion side as your baseline. Basically, that's it. And then,
And
it's
then the bag gets,
the
you
bag.
can drain the bag in the toilet.
Yeah,
Just cut
unfortunately,
the corner.
you have to cut and drain it at unless you have like a sharps container, a big one. If your patient doesn't drain anything, how long do you wait? So normally the patients know their own body and they can tell you like, oh, it's been 30 minutes and I only have 20 ml. So if it's a significant change, of course, you need to call the doctor. And always look at your patient. What's the clinical signs and symptoms of the patient. Is the patient SOB or not? Then the patient also, the hydration also, maybe, patients too dry, really nothing over there. Normally they're like on the chest tube lifetime. So there you go. That's our chronic forever.
The bag is
home health patient.
1 liter or 1,000 mils, and you
good
should
point.
never drain more than 1,000 at one time, at one sitting or one day. So if it's getting full, watch it and stop it, clamp it at the 1,000 mil mark, and that's enough for that day. You can't. More would be, damaging to the
I
patient.
always stop at 800. I think it
Stop a
might,
little before.
yeah.
No,
I'll stop
fall
at
if they're
800.
drained a lot, you
Right.
gotta clamp.
Right.
Yeah, and then if the patient feels like full, get an order and go back and drain again the next day, but not one drain,
Not the
one
same
sitting, yeah.
Questions? Holly?
The only thing was, sometimes, and I'm guilty of this too, we don't all get to our charting, and this lady was seen every other day, and so I didn't know what 2 days ago was.
What happened? Yeah.
So maybe we could write that on the vital sign sheet that we leave in the patient's home. how
Good
much,
idea.
because-
Oh yeah, the draining.
Yeah,
But she knows, she was with it.
she was very with it, yeah,
Yeah.
she could.
That's a
tell you.
good one.
I know, I saw her Monday and I got nothing.
You did it, that's why you called. And I forgot to give report to her. It's also important to give handoff report to your nurses.
Yeah, if
especially
you haven't heard
like-
from the previous nurse, reach out to them and,
But she called the doctor, already called the doctor.
Okay.
Of course, I'm like, Richard.
Well, I guess the
But
patient
that's
told me
good.
Ping only got 10 cc's the previous time, so I wasn't too worried when I didn't get anything.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
How long do you have to wait until you take it out if there's nothing more or?
20, 30 minutes,
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Do you think repositioning makes a difference? If you're not
Maybe.
getting anything, maybe
Gravity.
reposition the patient a
Yeah.
little bit.
And also, we have patients being discharged from the hospital that really don't have the suction thingy. It's just by gravity. So then if the patient doesn't have a hospital bed at home, you cannot elevate. So what do you do, right? So
On the kitchen table or something?
I thought about that, but how steady? Or like if you have like a heavy patient. So I thought of having a patient like if they have a stairs, have the patient clean, have a clean area, have the patient, and then hang
So if
the.
a patient's in bed, you're saying they're not high enough?
If it's not a hospital bed, no. So then there's no, you can't
The,
drain it. So I thought about the stairs.
It says
if
an
they're
arm's length is
ambulatory.
enough distance of gravity, but
So,
yeah, you might be
and then put the
have to troubleshoot
the
that.
canister lower if they don't have any hospital bed. I just thought about that.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it.
All right, thank you for.
And then, of course, wash your hands after. You're welcome.
So guys, come in and get yourself checked off on this, okay? And then, because I really,